Success Mantra is a program which features people, successful individuals from various walks of life. They are less known heroes who believe in their dreams and have conviction to live their full potential. Idols, icons, innovators who care to live every moment on their own terms.
Welcome to another edition of Success Mantra. It gives me great joy because of the guest that we have today. It's Dr. Vasudha M. Sharma, and she has many roles, some of them being entrepreneur, clinical practitioner using integrated medicine, and she is also recently her organization Vivekananda Health Global has been selected for the game award, and which is definitely a big milestone because it is recognized by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So Dr. Vasudha, welcome to the show. We are really delighted to have you here.
Thank you so much, Sonali ji. My pleasure to be here too.
Likewise. So, in this program, basically, we cover people who are doing work of a different stroke of events and really adding a lot of value to society. So, how would you say some of the things that you're doing through Vivekananda Health Global, is actually impacting the society in a widespread way?
So at Vivekananda Health Global, what we do is bring in the best integration using Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy. We're trying to mainstream these Indian traditional systems, but also complement them with modern medicine. So what we intend to do finally is the big value we want to bring in is better smiles on people's faces. And we want people to understand that prevention, disease management and rehabilitation is very well possible and probably much greater when it comes to better health of the population. So we strive to do this at across all our centers in India and abroad. And what we therefore want to achieve is go close to everyone's doorstep.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, which are the locations where you have your centers?
So primarily in Bangalore, we have two centers. One is an HSR layout, and the other is an HRBR layout, which is Kalyan Nagar. And
Mhm.
we also have them in most of the capital cities, like we have it in Trivandrum, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Guwahati, Mumbai, and New Delhi. And abroad, we have it in Seoul, Shanghai, and New York.
Wow, these are recent additions because last time I met you, you had in India a couple of cities, but I hear the numbers have increased, right?
The members are mostly consistent from the last 1.5 year. As you very well know, the COVID has brought
Right.
a lot of things at
Mhm.
standstill. But yes, still during that time, we happened to launch the Guwahati Center.
Okay. So, are these franchisees or are these owned directly by you and your team?
Yeah, so it is both ways.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Excellent. So, how did you kind of stumble upon this alternate medicine and starting this Ayurvedic, healing, yoga, and so on and so forth? How did you come into this field?
Right. Now, so this go back, we need to go back, down the memory lane to two
Mm.
decades ago. That's where I started my Ayurveda practice, and then slowly, brought in the integration of yoga because I did my master's in yoga therapy from S. Vyasa University, and further on happened to do my PhD and specifically worked on Ayurveda and yoga in the management of migraine headache. And therefore this whole journey has been such a wonderful learning. I've learned from my peers who have also been into naturopathic medicine, acupuncture and many more such modalities which can complement these mainstream sciences.
Mhm.
And that's how Ayurveda was integrated with yoga, and then it was integrated with the systems such as acupuncture. And I specifically started understanding that the care which brought into the disease management of a person visiting us was much, much better and much faster when it came to integration. And that's how this whole concept of integrating these systems evolved. And we are here today delivering wonderful results to the people who visit us.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And the journey continues. We do not want to, of course, stop it here. So we want to do more into also bring in a lot of research, dimensions, just not working across just at the clinical level.
Wonderful. So when you say integrated medicine, does it also kind of touch upon the regular hospitals and the kind of medication, allopathy that happens in this space?
Yes, very much. When we say integrative medicine, it also complements the modern medicine or the allopathy medicine. So, if I give you an example, say, we also get referrals from many obstetricians or gynecologists, we get referrals from physicians. We all work together as a team. And when patients do come to us, we also evaluate them accordingly. So, many of them come asking for, say, long term remedy for diabetes, so they may be on the anti-diabetic pills already. So there has to be a specific understanding of this. A physician's consent is also very much essential. And slowly we work on them so that we are not making them drug dependent. So that's how it works.
Wow, wonderful. So, because, typically when you go to some of these doctors, they say that, like if you're going through this medication, you cannot do this. And there are a lot of do's and don'ts and restrictions. So, it's really nice to see that you have found a path which is integrated midway between all of this. Excellent.
Yeah, see, what's essential here is when the world is moving towards integrative medicine,
Hmm.
and we are all there seeing what the change the world is looking for. I think we will have to get into it, mainstream it, and I should say VHG or Vivekananda Health Global has the first mover advantage also in the market because we are specifically working in this domain.
Hmm.
And there is large collaboration because we are also associated with SVSA University, and then there are different other bigger names in the world like Harvard Medical School, Mayo Clinic.
Hmm.
They've all really done a lot of this, and cancer care has really brought in big time integration, and that's is definitely helping people suffering.
Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent. So it's really nice to see that there's so much of progress in healthcare because that's something that always worries all of us that we should have the right advisors at the right time, So it's good. Okay, so on a personal level, you have had so many successes. You decided, you came into this line, and you graduated from, like one level to the other. Initially as an expert and then as an entrepreneur. How has this journey been, and what does success really mean to you in this journey?
So, see, I think a journey can never be very smooth. So, I think all of us agree on this in a particular aspect. So, my entrepreneurial journey started with Hindustan Unilever's Ayush Therapy Center, where I took up the franchisee. So, that gave me that initial learning, and that was a stepping stone as well. And going forward, yes, we built our own brand later on, and then we understood, the different requirements, say starting from different protocols to SOPs, which are highly essential when you have multiple centers.
Mhm.
And that is actually our IP. So when we talk about the IP of VHG, so these are the protocols, SOPs, which are very crucial and essential for us to grow. And this journey of learning, therefore, continues. It never ends. And for me, when I talk about, say, success, it is about stepping, each step with care, with some planning, or I should say, good planning, so that we don't have too many hurdles during the path. And success is never mapped with the revenue we generate or the profit which we might make as individuals, as our companies, but it is more about reaching out to more people, seeing happier people in the society. Because when one person says, okay, I'm really grateful to you or to your clinic, that I'm have better health today, so that really makes us feel proud of ourselves. And that is what the first definition of success I would put forth. Then of course, when you start seeing this multiple times, your success is also multiplied, and that is something which will probably give you good sleep, and then make you really feel elated from inside.
Wow, very well said. Like happy faces, cured patients are, a measure of success, and also not the revenue alone. In fact, it's interesting that as an entrepreneur, your focus is on, touching more lives in an impactful way rather than focusing on growth of your revenue. So that's really interesting. Fantastic. So, in your journey, what behaviors and traits have really helped you achieve the success for yourself?
So behavioral traits, yeah, maybe being more patientful, hearing to people. So that is something which I hear from patients or from colleagues and other people working with me, that I am also a patient listener, and then I'm able to answer also their the problems or the questions they come up with.
Mhm.
So it's not about mapping ourselves or our behavioral patterns and skills, but what we need to have as entrepreneurs is definitely patience, because we need to keep evaluating ourselves, and we need to give time for ourselves, because many times time is definitely insufficient. So never 24 hours is sufficient. We always feel we need more, but we need to plan our day. So I would not agree with somebody when he or she says that I really cannot do yoga because I'm not finding time for myself. So if you're not finding time for yourself, so what is that you're trying to do? Because you always have to have a me time, which I think most of them will be talking about. But at least spend those 20-25 minutes stretching your body, stretching your mind, because that is essential for you to also succeed. If not, you are, now I say I am a doctor and I'm telling patients, so you need to know how to de-stress yourself, and then you need to do XYZ to de-stress yourself. But what am I doing? Am I doing something for myself?
True.
So if I don't do that, then I think I'm just projecting things or talking, and not doing it for myself. So I'm only preaching and not practicing. So this is another aspect which is highly crucial as you grow.
Mm.
So I think the two main success mantras I would put forward are the following. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what's your advice for some of the people who want to probably um, pursue your line of education and practice?
Well, I would definitely recommend, because this is, I think, the opportunity of the hour. Every other person wants to do yoga. Every other person wants to take, Ayurveda medicine or herbal supplements, because they are natural and they do not have, large known side effects of the drugs or the medication used. So the
Mm.
need of the hour is definitely adapt Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathic medicine, and complete your education. But do not stop at just undergraduation, because undergraduation may not give you large scope of understanding. So try to pursue your education as well. Try to pursue your personal life also through that. So don't just understand it theoretically, understand it practically, because practice is what will lead you close to perfection. Because of course being perfect is not at all maybe very difficult. I won't say possible, impossible. So I think that's the way out to all those young minds who would like to
Mm.
explore this field.
Wonderful. And what's been your greatest achievement when you look back in life?
Yes, I mean, greatest achievement. At two levels, I would put forth. One is at the professional level.
Mm.
Achievement will once again go back to seeing healthy individuals, those
Mhm.
of them who are very happy with you and continue being with you for say 20 years now. I know many patients who are visiting me from the last 20 years. So that is the biggest achievement I have, because they are connected with me due to the reasons known to both of us, because I they are able to connect with me better. And at
Mm.
the personal level, the best achievement would be probably transforming or transferring, whatever value based advices we have or education we have to the next generation. So when I see my son talking a little towards what I am perceiving myself to be or the world to be, then I feel that that's the biggest achievement I have made. And I've seen that in him.
Wow, that's really, that's, I guess, one of the biggest joys of life to see them, practicing some of the values that we have. Excellent. And on a day-to-day basis, how do you create a routine of success for yourself? Because what happens is we have a goal. It's sometimes a little far-fetched. It takes time, effort, and those things. So how do you really manage to feel satisfaction on a day-to-day basis?
I think the best requirement for this is little bit of planning the previous day so that we are not in the rush the day starts. So one routine, what is essential is once again, start off your day with yoga, spend some time, making something at home, maybe, being a mother, being a wife, you probably need to spend little time in also taking care of your family, because it comes both ways, not because just you're a wife, but it comes from the husband too. So we will have to give a bit of family time right in the morning, maybe kitchen cooking, etc., etc. And then yes, you have your day for yourself the whole day. Say you start at 9 in the morning, you can still work till 8 or 9 in the evening. So then that structuring has to come in place, because you know that what is needed for the family is already done, and behind the mind you will have to take it off for a while. And what is very crucial is, when you are in your office space, do not think about your home, and when you're at home, do not think continuously about your workplace. So that switching on switching off mechanism is what we need to probably train ourselves. It cannot come otherwise.
True.
And if you're doing that across the day, you can really structure yourself and probably succeed for the day. And then you have your own plans, what you want to complete for today, what you want to complete for tomorrow, and accordingly work and communicate it to the person that yes, I am, am not able to deliver. Please say I might take 24 hours. If you're able to deliver it on time. So communication is also very crucial to have a successful day, because at the end of the day, you feel that yes, what I planned was actually put forth.
Wonderful. So, Dr. Vasudha, a lot of people nowadays, because of COVID and the pandemic, are working from home. So, do you have any kind of inputs for them to balance or to have a, successful routine during the day?
So when it comes to health, when you're working from home, I think you need to be a little more cautious, because two things. One, you have a lot of screen time. So if you've been working 8 hours in a day, now you're working 11 hours in a day. You're always, with the earphone on, taking calls, especially in the IT industry.
Right.
And otherwise, you're probably taking your meal and then coming back, sitting in your position. So physically, also, you have very less mobility, so this also affects your health.
Mhm.
So when you need to maintain a better physical and mental balance, it is essential you once again have a routine. So few tips, what I would like to give out is, one, when after every meal you ensure that you at least walk around for 10 to 15 minutes and don't come back to your seats immediately. So plan your day accordingly. So because I don't think that it is impossible for you to do that, it needs a little bit of planning for you to do this.
Mhm.
And secondly, because of the increased screen time, you ensure that every 45 minutes to 1 hour, you just do this very simple palming, and then warm up your eyes. And maybe every 3 hours, you can do some basic practices of eye exercises, which are very specifically taught in yoga.
Mhm.
And apart from this, since Ayurveda gives a lot of guidelines to build your immunity, you can definitely use some herbal decoctions or herbal teas instead of drinking too much of coffee and tea. So, which
True.
is maybe more injurious to your health, or to your gut, especially.
Sure. Awesome. And has there been any episode of failure in your life? And if yes, then how do you uh, deal with them?
So yes, I think failures are definitely a part of life.
Mhm.
I don't recollect anything too big. Maybe definitely at business level, the biggest it's I would not call it failure. The biggest hurdle which we have faced is probably the last 1 year after COVID set in.
Mhm.
So because you really had to work towards better revenues, better cash flows to maintain your whole business. So
Yeah.
that is where there was extreme stress of managing your finances.
Mhm.
So but we are still working on it. So what gave us that edge is we, as a team, started understanding how we have to be more active online and how we need to engage our customers.
Mhm.
And now we are definitely in a better phase, and then I'm sure in another couple of months we'll be out of it too.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, wonderful, Dr. Vasudha. It was great having you, and all those little nuggets, I'm sure, is going to help our audience live a more healthier life and wear that smile, which we are also looking forward to. What's this, last message or success mantra that you would like to give folks who are kind of looking forward to it and who can make use in life?
The success mantra for anyone, whether you are healthy or you're looking towards better health,
Mhm.
is please prioritize. So you know the priority of the day, and please work based on this priority so that you are also able to free your mind from too many thoughts and work on calming down a bit. Do not be too spontaneous and do not be continuously thinking on aspects. Rather, instead of thinking, act on it so that your thought process automatically slows down, and work on slowing down your mind, because once you slow down, you hit your target more accurately.
Wow, I love that line. Once you slow down, you hit your target more accurately. So that's like $1 million takeaway for us today. Thank you so much, Dr. Vasudha. We wish you all the best and keep receiving the great awards and recognitions that you are currently on path of. Look forward to your great success. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.